One of the most well-known rifles in history is also one of the most confused, but it still has its place in history and throughout both world wars and even still being used today. Now, the weapon I am talking about, which you've seen in the title, is the M1903 Springfield. Now, the Springfield Armory thought, we need a new rifle. So in 1903, they patented the Springfield rifle and then put it into production. Now, the reason I say it's the most confused rifle is because during World War I, when the American Expeditionary Force came over, everyone thinks that the standard issue rifle of the Americans was the Springfield. But only 3 million Springfields were made. The standard issue rifle of the time was the 1917 Enfield rifle, which we will do at another time. So, what made the 1903 Springfield so good? Well, it could fire 10 to 15 perfectly aimed rounds per minute. Now, that doesn't seem a lot, but back in the early 20th century, it was the best you could do. It fired the 30-03 or 30-06 Springfield caliber bullet using a bolt-action mechanism. Now, this rifle can be seen throughout many films. Most importantly, Saving Private Ryan with Jackson. But during World War I, it had a different story. The developers at, well, Mr. Pedersen, as I'm going to call him, he thought, instead of deploying more rifles, why don't we just deploy a conversion kit to change the Springfield rifle into a semi-auto rifle? And that's what he did. He got work on the Pedersen device. Now, the Pedersen device was to be used in combat, take about 15 to 30 seconds to change out, and it would change it from a 5-round bolt-action rifle into a 40-round semi-auto rifle. Now, the Springfield was mainly used in World War I and World War II and the periods in between. And then after World War II, as it was stopped being produced in 1949, it still was being used, but not in high quantities. Dates can see it being used in the Korean War, Vietnam, even in smaller underdeveloped countries today, you can still see it being used. So, that is the M1903 Springfield rifle. I hope you did enjoy. I only got one comment voting for this and none for the grease gun, so we'll be doing the grease gun next week. So, this time next week we will be doing the grease gun and stay tuned on Sunday for the most bloodiest and brutal conflict of World War II and in the history of the world.